It was a sunny November morning, but the warmth of the sun could not touch the heaviness that would soon fill the street. I had seen the Johnsons often, the family of 4, with 2 small children who ran through the neighborhood laughing and shouting. They had a cat, a ginger named Orange, soft and friendly, known and adored by everyone on the block. She was more than a pet. She was a little presence of joy, of comfort, of belonging. That morning, I noticed something I would never forget. The family was moving out, the truck parked at the curb, boxes stacked in a neat but daunting pile. The children were distracted with toys, giggling, oblivious to the seriousness of leaving. The parents were busy giving instructions, arguing softly, moving furniture. And Orange? She didn't know what to do. She followed the children at first, her tail high, meowing lightly. But when the cars started, she ran to the driveway, hopping and stretching toward the doors. She tried to get inside, tried to follow. She meowed desperately as the engines roared and tires spun. I watched her race after them, claws scraping the pavement, tiny body trembling with panic. But they didn't stop. They didn't turn around. They didn't call her name. And then the cars disappeared. Orange froze, eyes wide, ears flat, and let out a long, plaintive meow. My heart twisted in my chest. I had seen pets abandoned before, but this was something different. It wasn't a moment of carelessness. It was a quiet betrayal. She looked down the street, hoping, pleading, confused. And then slowly, she walked back to the empty doorway of the house she had always known as home. Her tiny teddy bear, a gift from the youngest child, lay beside her. She nudged it with her nose and curled up around it, her body tense and trembling. It was as though she was trying to hold on to the only fragment of love left in her world. Days passed, and I began noticing her every day. She did not eat. She did not move inside the house. She did not respond to any of the food I left for her. She simply waited. She waited in front of the door day and night, mewing softly when it grew too quiet, eyes fixed on the road that had stolen her family. Her grief was quiet, but it was deep. It settled into her bones, her posture, her eyes. She became small, her once bright fur dull and rough from the cold November wind. I visited her often. I stroked her ginger fur, whispered words of comfort, promised her that someone cared. But no words could reach her heart. The abandonment had carved a wound far deeper than any comfort could heal. And yet she did not give up entirely. Her head lifted sometimes when I approached. Her paws shifted slightly, hesitant, as though weighing whether to trust me. Every day I wondered how a creature so loving and pure could survive such sorrow. It was unbearable to watch.
The cold hit harder that night than any other November evening. The wind cut through the empty streets, carrying with it the faint scent of wet leaves and decay. I couldn't sleep. My mind kept returning to Orange, curled up at the doorstep, shivering, waiting for a family that would never return. I grabbed my coat and flashlight and went outside. The street was silent except for the whisper of wind against the buildings. When I reached the old house, my heart sank. There she was, Orange, small and fragile, her ginger fur damp with condensation, huddled over the little teddy bear she had held onto for days. She didn't move when she saw me. She didn't meow. She didn't even lift her head fully. Her body seemed to shrink further into itself, like she was trying to disappear from the world entirely. I knelt slowly beside her. "Orange, it's okay," I whispered. "I'm here." She flinched at my hand at first. Then, with a tremor that seemed to run through her entire being, she leaned slightly into my touch. It was the smallest acknowledgement, but it was enough. I wrapped her gently in my coat, tucking the teddy bear with her. She didn't struggle, she didn't fight. She simply let herself be held, a tiny surrender of trust, fragile and trembling. The walk back to my house was painstakingly slow. Every step I took was measured to avoid startling her. Her small body shook against mine, but I whispered softly, telling her she was safe, that no one would leave her behind again. When we reached home, I laid her down on a warm towel and set out soft food. She sniffed it cautiously. Then, ever so slowly, she took a bite. Her eyes met mine, and I could see it, tiny sparks of life, of hope, of something she hadn't felt in days. That night, she slept on my chest. I cradled her, careful not to disturb the fragile sense of security she had found. Her small heartbeat, faint but steady, reminded me of the resilience of life, even when shadowed by grief. She had survived the abandonment, but the wound it left would not heal quickly. I understood then that this was only the beginning of a long journey, a journey where trust would have to be earned, step by step, night by night.
The mornings after that night were quiet but heavy. Orange stayed close to me, but she still moved with caution, as if testing the world again. She would not leap onto my lap, not yet. She would not follow me willingly around the house, but she did watch me. Every movement, every sound, with eyes wide and alert, measuring whether I could be trusted. Feeding her became a ritual. I warmed her food and placed it gently before her. At first, she only sniffed, taking a single bite, then retreating to a corner. Slowly, over days, she began eating more. The small victories were monumental, each bite a sign that she was choosing life again. I noticed how she reacted to the world around her. Sudden noises made her flinch. Shadows on the walls made her freeze. Every unfamiliar sound seemed to echo the memory of being left behind. But gradually, she began to explore the house, the living room, the kitchen, the sunny window ledge where the light fell in long, comforting streaks. She touched everything with caution, sniffed everything with care, but she began to live again. Every day, without fail, she would pause by the back door. I knew where she wanted to go. The old yard behind the empty house called to her, the place where she had been abandoned, where she had waited endlessly for the family that would never return. I took her there gently, holding her in my arms. Sometimes she would curl up on the cold doormat, placing her teddy bear in front of her. Other times, she would lie down silently, staring at the empty windows. I never rushed her. I never pushed her to let go. Grief, I had learned, cannot be forced. It must be lived, felt, and honored. When she returned from those visits, she would always come back to me. Slowly, trust began to bloom in small, fragile gestures. A soft meow when I entered the room, a tentative brush of her head against my hand, a tiny purr while she rested near me. But even with these signs of healing, Orange carried the weight of loss in her amber eyes. She would sometimes look at the street as if expecting someone to appear, a phantom of the family that abandoned her. Those moments would make my chest ache. She had loved deeply and been left behind, and the scar of that heartbreak would never fully vanish. Yet despite the sadness, there were moments of joy. A sunbeam on the couch, a soft stroke of her fur, a quiet purr in the evening when she slept close. These were the small, luminous moments that reminded me why I had brought her in, why I had fought to save her from despair. Every day, I promised myself I would be her home, her constant, the presence she could rely on. And each day, she reminded me of the strength it takes to survive grief, to face abandonment, and still choose life. It happened on a chilly Thursday afternoon. The wind was sharp, carrying the scent of fallen leaves, but the light was soft, almost forgiving. I was folding laundry when Orange nudged my ankle gently. A small, hesitant gesture, but one that stopped my heart. She had never done that before. I followed her to the back door. Her eyes were fixed on the yard behind the old house, the yard where she had waited for days and nights, where she had curled up beside her teddy bear, where hope had been cruelly taken from her. I did not rush her. I simply watched as she stepped outside, tail low, body tense. But this time was different. Instead of approaching the old door, instead of curling up on the mat or meowing plaintively, she sat in the center of the yard, her teddy bear placed gently in front of her. She stared at the empty windows, still silent, still alone, but something in her posture had changed. It was not grief. It was not expectation. It was acceptance. Minutes passed. She lowered her head slowly, deliberately, not in despair, not in sorrow, but in surrender to reality. She turned away from the house, picked up her teddy bear, and walked straight toward me. She did not look back once. I knelt down, and when she pressed herself against my leg, I could feel the warmth return to her body. The weight of grief was still there, but it was no longer all-consuming. Her eyes blinked slowly, fully, trusting me in a way she had never done before. When we walked back to my house, she stayed close, moving confidently. No hesitation, no lingering fear. Inside, she jumped onto the couch and curled up in the center, as though claiming her place in the world once again. She still visits the yard sometimes. She pauses at the fence, gazes at the empty house, nudges the ground with her paw, but she always comes back to me. Every single time, every day. And every day, she curls closer, purrs louder, loves a little deeper. Orange was no longer the abandoned cat waiting for a family that would never return. She had found a home, a sanctuary, a life with someone who would never leave her. And while the sorrow of her past would always linger, she had chosen to live again in spite of it. She had survived heartbreak. She had survived loneliness. And in doing so, she had taught me the quiet, enduring strength it takes to trust, to love, and to forgive. She was home. Truly, completely, heartbreakingly home.